These are groups that resist fascists and neo-Nazis, especially at demonstrations. So are the fascists neo-Nazis or not?
World dreams come true. I can grow without.
What's going on, y'all? Let's get it. So Trump says he plans on classifying Antifa as a major terrorist organization, which he's already signed an executive order to do so. Basically, Donald Trump said earlier on Thursday that he plans on classifying Antifa as a major terrorist organization, which I kind of seem odd considering major terrorist organizations. In his words, he said Al Qaeda, uh, using weapons, hurting people, and a lot of people. But I don't have an opinion on all of this. Antifa is short for anti-fascist, is an umbrella term for far left leaning activist groups, and it's not a single entity. These are groups that resist fascists and neo-Nazis. These are groups that resist fascists and neo-Nazis, especially at demonstrations. So are the fascists neo-Nazis or not? I'm confused here because from my understanding, I thought that the fascists were the ones that were vandalizing statues and stuff like that all over the country. But I could be wrong. Maybe I should keep reading. It was unclear how the administration would label what is in effect uh, decentralized movement as a terrorist organization, and the White House on Wednesday did not immediately offer more details. The U.S. president, who is on state visit to the U.K., made an announcement in social media posts. This is what we come to. Wow. Shortly before 1:30 a.m. Thursday local time, he called anti-fascist, sick, dangerous, radical left disaster. He also said he will be strongly recommending that funders of these anti-fascists be investigated. So left is, I guess, Democrats and rights are the Republicans. I'm still on here. Antifa is a domestic entity and as such is not a candidate for the inclusion on the State Department's list of foreign terrorist organizations. This is where he says something about Al Qaeda. Dozens of groups, including extremist organizations like the Islamic State and Al Qaeda, are included on that list. This classification matters in part because it enables the Justice Department to prosecute those who give material support to entities such as your mom, your brother, your sister, your auntie, your dog, your cousin, your friend, your acquaintance, pastor, whatever. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah, prosecute those. Basically, even if they don't have anything violent, they don't do anything violent. So, on that list, even if the support does not result in violence, that's what the exact words were. There is no domestic equivalent to that list, in part because on broad First Amendment protections enjoyed by organizations operating within the United States and domestic periodic calls, particularly after mass shootings by white supremacists, to establish a domestic terrorism law. No singular statute now exists. Interesting. I don't know where I got this article from, and I don't know whose side that they're on. Maybe they are maybe left or right. I don't know. Maybe I'm guessing far left. Maybe I don't know. Maybe, uh, but it seems like they understand this on a different level. But in exchange with reporters in the Oval Office on Monday, Trump said he would pursue a domestic terrorism classification for anti-fascists if such a move had the support of Pam Bondi, the Internal General, and such in his cabinet. Now, I apologize. I know I probably just talked y'all head off, but what we're going to do right now is we're going to actually take the time to listen to Caroline Levitt, who hosted a press conference briefing the whole ordeal. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn the notification bell on. And shout out to all my new subscribers. Just yesterday we had 3,084. Now today we have 3,106. Shout out to y'all. I'm sorry, wrong sound effect. There we go. That's more like it. Hey, hit the like button, y'all. Hey, I'm trying to hit about 55,000 likes and do about 300,000 views every day. So you gotta hit the like button. That's the only way we're gonna get there.
With that, I will take your question. In today's new media seat, we have Monica Page, who is the White House correspondent for Turning Point USA's news organization on the front lines. Monica, thank you for being here. We're so sorry for the loss of Charlie. I know you work for him, you were very close to him, and we appreciate your being in the new media seat and also your commitment to covering the White House. You are here every day, just like the rest of everyone in this room. So why don't you kick us off today?
Thank you so much, Caroline. I don't think you realize how much it means to me to be here in this seat, especially on behalf of Turning Point USA and Frontlines. We greatly appreciate it. We also greatly appreciate the outpouring of support and just really kind words that we heard yesterday at the memorial service. That means more to us than I don't think anybody ever knows. And even the global support that we're seeing for Charlie has been overwhelming, and it doesn't go unnoticed. So thank you so much. I have 3 questions, if I may, on the horrific murder of Charlie Kirk. Government and local officials said that Antifa inscriptions were engraved in these bullet casings that killed Charlie Kirk. It appears to be a trend, especially after what we saw in the Annunciation Church shooting, Catholic Church shooting. Additionally, Stephen Miller recently commented on the rise in this kind of violence, saying there is a domestic terrorist movement growing in this country. The president is designating Antifa as a domestic terrorist organization. I'm wondering what is the approach to holding these people accountable, just to ensure that violence like this just is eradicated moving forward?
Sure. Well, Antifa is going to be designated a domestic terrorist organization. The president intends to sign that executive order very soon as it's drafted, as soon as today, later this afternoon. And this is something the president campaigned on because we have seen a rise in violence perpetuated by Antifa radical people across this country who subscribe to this group. And unfortunately, it's gone widely uncovered by many in the legacy media. It also went completely ignored by the previous administration. Not anymore. Not only, as you mentioned, were the bullet casings subscribed with Antifa mottos, if you will, in the heinous assassination of Charlie, but there have also been more examples than I could read off for you here in this briefing room today of violence from Antifa. I will just read a few. In July 2025, several members of an Antifa cell ambushed and opened fire on officers at an ICE facility in Alvarado, Texas, shooting one officer in the neck. Also in July 2025, 3 Antifa members were charged with assaulting a police officer during a violent riot outside an ICE facility in Portland, which for weeks prior had been under siege from the local Antifa terror cell. In February 2024, a transgender Antifa terrorist detonated an explosive device outside of the office of the Republican Attorney General of Alabama. In July 2023, Antifa members linked to abortionist group Jane's Revenge firebombed pro-life facilities and vandalized churches. In January 2022, a suspected Antifa member was arrested for bringing a pipe bomb to a pro-Trump event. In January 2021, an Antifa supporter threatened to shoot police officers and Trump supporters outside of the Florida State Capitol building. Again, I could continue to list many more examples for those in the room who don't believe this is a serious threat to American safety and our national security, but this administration knows that it is. That's why the president will be signing this order. And we will also be, most importantly, looking at who is funding Antifa and who is funding these other violent left-wing groups that we've seen perpetuate so much crime and mayhem across our country.
Thank you.
Interesting. Well, it's one thing I do gotta say is that it is a very interesting topic. Personally, I don't have no fight in this at all, as we clearly can see why. But I do have an opinion. As a critical thinker I consider myself to be, I would have to say to myself, well, what is going on here? Who's causing these issues? Who's causing all this ruckus? From my understanding, it's always been one kind of person that was causing ruckus in this country. Just one kind of person, from my understanding. Not here to pick a side. But this seems like a fight that one party created for itself. And you may think I'm talking about, the conservatives, the left wing, the right wing. I'm talking about anarchy and monarchy. Yeah. The people of are not the problem, if we're thinking about it. I don't know. If you're a Republican, you're a Democrat, you're a liberal, you're conservative, or you're a stay-at-home mom. I don't know what you are. Maybe you might be a grandmother. What's up, grandma? You make some cookies? You get some. Hey, I don't know what's going on, man. I think it's extremely odd that this controversy is going on in a time where basically most people are struggling, trying to figure out how they're going to feed themselves. Typical people do act belligerent when they need to feed themselves. But I don't hear about grocery stores being bombarded and food being stolen out of it on mass amounts of people. We just hear about vandalism. Oh, my condolences go out to that young man. Last thing I've ever wanted to happen to anyone is them to get their life taken away from them because they spread their opinion. I mean, I'm making a living off of this, ain't I? But I do want to say, I do want to say that I ask everyone to be a little bit more of a critical thinker. Most people that you know, are they really trying to fight? Because most people that I know, they're just trying to pay their bills. Why is this so important? Hey, if you ask me, I would have to say, it's all a skit. It's a skit. It's scripted. Some of the best actors and actresses are in this country. I mean, just look at them. They get on that stand and they act every day as if. Never mind. It's your boy Dtae. I ain't got no money over here. I just got an opinion. I wanted to check this out. If you liked this, hit that like button down below. And like I said, we trying to hit 10,000 likes. So hit that like button right now. Smash it. And we back tomorrow. Actually, we'll be back a little bit later. Because I'm about to do a little bit more investigation on what is an anti-fascist. I don't know. What is an anti-fascist? Let me know in the comments right now. It's your boy.
You complete me, but I might be fooled. In my world.